Hello and welcome back to Versus. We're here for some more Canadian Highlander. And James is joining us once again. Hello.
Hello, my friend. How's it going?
Yes, doing very well, doing very well. We have a treat in store because we get to watch you play.
Always a treat.
Always a
Always a
treat.
treat.
And not only that, but we get to see you play one of your lesser played decks, I feel.
Yes. Yeah, that's fair.
So you're on Big White. You have an alternate name for this that you'll have to explain to us in a second. And then
Sure.
Johnny's playing. I've called it Black Mould. It's Black Mould with Nardu, which is why there's a bit of blue in there in a Golgari aggro list. But just to talk to Johnny's deck first, and then I'll hand over to you. Black Mould is a Golgari aggro list, essentially. That's what it's doing. But a quote unquote fair Nardu's been thrown in there. It's not really fair because we do have Shuko, but that's pretty much the only nod to Nardu. It's just a good card, so it's in there taking up a point. Speaking of points, Nardu joins Ancient Tomb, Mox Emerald, Mox Jet, Urza Saga, and Reanimate. So James, tell us what you've brewed.
Yeah, so this is Big White. It is maybe not as big as some Big Whites. There's some more low to the ground, disruptive stuff than you might also find, and there's also some weirdish pet cards in here. But it is mostly trying to get a lot of fast mana out, get some disruption out and some cheap creatures that either slow your opponent down or speed you up, then ramp into some large artifacts or planeswalkers or some large creatures, destroy all the lands occasionally. That's quite fun too, and just generally get ahead with a decent amount of value. My pet name for this deck is the 1% because it thinks everyone else should pay taxes. It wants to have its own really expensive things, and it's just white. So it's pretty much the 1%.
Right, I got you.
That's why the name came about like that.
I like it.
It was funnier earlier when it had a red splash and it was only mostly white. Now it's entirely white. The joke's a little bit too on the nose. But anyway, not important. The points for this one are 5 on Mana Crypt, 3 on Soul Ring, so big mana important, and then 1 each on Saga and White Bloom.
Nice. And we start the game with a duress.
Yes, and I think you may have heard me say this is bad for me, because it is, because it's almost certainly going to take away this Mox, which is one of only 2 quote-unquote lands, 0 cost mana sources I have in hand. And nothing else in my hand does very much against what Johnny's trying to do, so this is a really choice duress. Really going to set me back.
It's going to be painful. It's got to be the Mox, right?
Yeah. It's having to think, but I think it is just because otherwise it's turn 1 imprint, whatever the worst card is here, get a Grim Monolith down and tapping with 5, potentially 6 mana on turn 2. Yeah, so it's correct assessment from Jonny there, I think.
Yep. So when you explained your Big White deck, I think I could have. I'm pretty confident I could have replaced the word white with the word red, and you would have just described Big Red. So my question is, what's the difference? Or is it basically the same thing?
No, they are a fair bit different. So Big White, I would never put a card with the initiative tacked onto it into Big Red. Big Red, despite the fact that it's a more aggressive colour, red, is much less my list, at least, which I think we might have had on before. I don't play that one that often either. It's pretty bad at closing out the game, of all things. It's gotten better because it's got Furies and Pyrogoyfs, but it doesn't have as many creatures. It's more just trying to make other people miserable by casting Wildfires and Ruinations and Blood Moons and assuming just slamming some type of Karn or Ugin is good enough.
So it's more control-y, just
yes,
burn everything to the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Burn it all and just hope I'm standing left with a Coldra complete or an Ugin or something that will just keep going. Whereas this one, you can see, from this opening hand that I kept, right, there was the mana, there was the Mox and the Grim, but there's also a 2-drop and 2 3-drop creatures.
Yeah.
So it does play. I think I'm on 30 odd creatures in this one. Yeah, 31. So it is it's got clocks that can kill people. Like it can just, spew out all the mana rocks, sorry, but then also just spew out a bunch of 2 and 3 drops that will kill you, rather than just trying to slam a Nugan or something, or just get rid of all the lands.
Fair enough. Okay, that kind of makes sense. And I suppose both decks will have like board wipes, but these board wipes are more. I was going to use the word ubiquitous, but they kill everything, whereas the red ones just deal damage to as much damage as they can do, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of the red land destruction, not Ruination. Ruination's a really good one for big red to play if you do want to play land destruction. But the other ones are Wildfire and Burning, which are the big ones, which are also kill creatures. Whereas if you're playing the white land destruction, you've got Armageddon and Ravagers of War. Your creatures are fine.
Yep.
So I think the only creature wrath it plays are Day of Judgment, Wrath of God, and Sunfall. So it's just you get to position them a bit, because you can hold a slower hand if you've got a Wrath, obviously. So it can be nice and reactive. It does struggle into control, as you'd kind of expect with this type of deck. And I'm quite a long way behind here with Jonny on 4 lands and me stuck here on 1
it
still.
It certainly hasn't started well. Yeah.
No.
The Mox being stripped was painful. Oh, that's the thing that goes to get lands, right?
Yes, we have a shot. We have an out. There is a chance.
It's quite slow, but needs must.
Yeah, exactly. It's also kind of awkward with Johnny's Wasteland there staring straight at me. That means it's one of the cool things up with the Wayfarer is it can get any land, but into a Wasteland,
it's getting a plains.
You really want it just to be getting a plains, and I'm still going to be taking forward turn. Jonny, what's the word? Modifying, putting counters onto this Emperor. I can't remember what the keyword is off the top of my head. Without anything to get the clock dead. And what it does look like we've turned into here is a bit of a classic Screw versus Flood, in that Jonny had Duress and this Emperor that he slammed and is now down 5 lands without contributing to the board anymore, which is not common in that deck. It might just have a bunch of removal in there, obviously.
It's a really interesting decision to just I'm forgetting the name of what that keyword is now, but to just upgrade that thing naked.
I think it's probably was the correct decision, because you just if you're worried of flooding out and you've seen your opponents potentially stalling, you really just want to kill them as fast as you can.
You expect that if Jonny is flooding badly, once you've hit another land or 2, you're off to the races.
Yeah, it is the classic. Traditionally, Screw beats Flood. That is the way it tends to go. You see, my Caracas top decked to help.
I will flash in Samwise and return Caracas to my hand.
Yeah, so that was a really good combination of things to have for me, because drawing it on basic there definitely kind of baited Jonny into
that was cool.
Wasteland. So getting to Samwise it back means kind of almost like a slow delayed counter spell, but not really, if you see what I mean. And I'm now getting rid of the Wayfarer because I think I'm just going to be going Monolith and hoping my big things are big enough. So I probably don't really have the spare white mana to keep activating this Weathered Wayfarer. So I'm not entirely sure what I've drawn. Lion Sash also not looking great when... So
that's dodgy.
I remember at the time thinking that wasn't something I necessarily thought was a great shout, because the lands, me being short on land.
Yeah, so I would say when your opponent's struggling for lands, don't give them free ones.
Yes.
And I think what was removed wasn't that crucial either.
No, it's just a roadblock, really. Just a little bit of a road bump.
So I'd just be smacking into it, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's a reason why Assassin's Trophy can be pretty darn dodgy.
Yeah, it is nice that it gets any permanent. You can pick off literally anything, but it's in the way that Path is still a little bit rough, really early on, because you don't want to, obviously, pathing someone's Noble Hierarch doesn't really achieve an awful lot. So, it's the same type of vibe, but yeah, I was probably going to at least take one more hit from the Emperor and then maybe start jumping.
I don't think I'm rarely happy to cast an Assassin's Trophy unless I'm destroying a land.
Or some kind of bomb that's winning a game.
But even then,
they've already got a million man.
I don't know. It's a different mindset, right? But in some formats, giving your opponent any form of piece of cardboard is just bad times. You've got one or two white removal spells in here that gift your opponent a permanent turn that essentially kill a thing to make a 1/1. I think is it Stroke of Midnight.
Yes, that is in here.
It's the kind of thing that in limited is like a no, don't do that. It's going to be bad unless you're hitting their bombs. But in these higher power formats, they are a bit better, just because what you're hitting has to be hit.
Yeah. This is a really nice turn for me, though. Really helpful. Like the naked draw triumph off the top for a miracle is really helpful. Recruiter of the Guard now being able to get a land is super important. So I've managed to go from no creatures into looking at the Scythecat card into I do have to bulk myself for this land coming untapped, but there is a mana floating from the Grim Monolith, so I can also play this Lion Sash. So really start committing to the board.
Yeah, I'm actually going to pay 3 life.
Yeah, it's taken a while, but you've started to build up ahead of steam.
Yeah, and this is the tension, right? If you are mana screwed, but you are allowed to eventually draw out of it, you've then got a whole handful of stuff to cast. Whereas if you're flooding, even if you draw out of it, you're still going to end up just casting, on average, 1 or 2 spells a turn or something like that. So you'll struggle to catch up the velocity that the screwed deck will do. So, which is what I've done there, right? I've committed. I mean, only 6 power to the board, but it's still like a lot of stuff. And although the Scythecat Cub into an Urza Saga is a really good draw for Jonny,
that's just a swamp.
Really
it's not just a swamp. It is a swamp, but it's also an Urza Saga.
Yes, it's not just a swamp.
I would like to attack you for 5.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be able to resist saying I'm going to play this swamp. For turn.
I will attack once and cast land tax.
Yeah, when you're flooding and you don't want to see lands, at least Urza Saga is a land that you don't mind seeing.
Yes. Land tax is another one of my favourites too.
Land tax coming down on turn 6 and is still going to do a ton of work. That's pretty funny.
I think we might even be way past 6 at this stage, but yeah, I absolutely love land tax. You can keep some really debatable hands with the land tax in it. It's still one of my favourite cards. I've chatted a bit before about how much I love playing around with land stuff. Even though I don't play any lands decks, I just like this type of stuff. I just find kind of fun, just not smoothing out the variance inherent in what lands, the mana system makes Magic. I think is a really cool place to work with.
I mean, this game looks like it's. Is it over? It's not over. Jonny with 2 activations of Urza Saga. But you've got Triumph of St. Catherine. And Lion Sash is just going to take over, surely.
I'm definitely in a really good spot. It's definitely not over anytime soon. And there is, Jonny could still just go, here's Nadu, here's the Shuko.
Right.
Off we go. So there's
there
always
are draws
that chance.
because you can't kill fast enough, I suppose.
And a cub is a good blocker. It is just going to get bigger and bigger. There's only maybe 1 more attack in with this triumph before I'm going to have to start shoving a Lion Sash on it or something like that.
But
the fact that I can do that,
yeah, exactly.
And we now know mana's not a problem because of this land tax as well. So,
yep, you get to draw 3 cards a turn, an extra 3 cards.
Yeah, this is basically ancestral recall without having to pay any points.
Repeatable.
So, yeah. No one point land tax, and no one take me seriously when I said any of that, please, Jesus.
It's so much more powerful. You get so many more cards out of it.
It is. I mean, it is almost always turn 1 thought seized when people see it. So that's normally a good indicator that something is very good. It's just so easy to miss because everyone's like, "Oh, good, more lands." But they don't want to be in every deck. You obviously wouldn't put it in a white weenie deck or something like that. But when I want to be casting 6, 7, 8 drops, more than happy to just keep going along.
So, what are your big? What's your big haymaker that you want to be casting at the top end here?
It's mostly planeswalkers. There's a few artifacts. So Path of Skull and Cold Complete are in here.
Yep.
There's some large creatures. There's a Sun Titan, just to kind of take it right back to the beginning.
The Titan's still being played in 2025.
debatable that that's good enough, but I've got it in my deck because I like it. I've even got the OG Elish Norn in here still.
Nice.
Just because it's kind of like an extra wrath against some of the more aggro decks. But it's mostly, you know, there's OG Kana is in here. There's 3 Ugins.
Yeah,
There's the big
Ugins are
Eternal
the-
Wanderer.
yeah.
So.
Ugins are always favourites.
Another one of my pet cards in here, this Mangara Condor. This is a really fun include. I just really like it.
Especially with
really
Caracas.
simple. Yeah, that's the real play with it. And again, that's a line that doesn't come up all that often because no one plays Mangara in anything really. So whenever it happens and people weren't necessarily expecting, they're like, oh,
wait.
well, I'm just gonna exile one of my permanents every turn. That doesn't seem fair, and it's not really. It is 3 mana exile. Well, 4 mana if you include having a Caracas, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, Johnny's definitely not out of this. But the fact that I've gained a bunch of life back against what is an aggro deck that just hasn't aggroed properly is huge for me. Like this Triumph of St. Catherine has done a lot of work. So if it hadn't have gained me the 10 life it's gained me, these 2 constructs with the Shadow Spear and a Cub that, because Johnny's drawn a million lands, just keeps getting bigger and bigger. It is like quite a scary clock into everything that is not, and an Ursine Monstrosity now, yeah, which is into everything that's not this 10 life gain from Triumph. They're bigger than everything I'm playing with. So.
Goaded at you, and then until end of turn, it claims instructions. Yada yada yada. Then we're going to stick the Shadow Spear on.
How many decks are you playing with at the moment, or do you have built at the moment? Do you know?
One sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16.
16 decks built.
Yes.
Wow. What's your least played of those?
I think I've only brought my mono black devotion list once, and it performed
Because it was so
terribly. Yeah, I really like the idea of it, and I haven't taken it apart because. Yeah. And it went 1 and 3. My rule is if something goes 0 and 4 in its first showing,
It needs to be taken apart.
Yeah, I cooked too hard with the wrong ingredients, and it all went because I am wants to do that. I like committing to the bit when it comes to deck building. As we've seen when I've tried at one point, I tried to build a rooms deck and an enduring ideal from old Kamigawa rooms deck, which just didn't work even a little bit. And got a bit of it. Yeah, I like doing that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
But there's a pretty high bar to something in Canlander. And I'm at least the type of person that if I don't win at least a little bit, it does suck a lot of the joy out of it. If you're just sitting there getting crushed and then, one time, you sit there for 4 rounds of Magic and you have 1 10-minute spree where you do the thing you want to do. And you're like, oh,
Yeah,
cool.
That's it, right? I think a lot of people will be perfectly happy going 1-3 and having done the thing that they wanted to do once. I don't think you're that kind of a player.
No, not super. No, like 2-2 is my goal every week at least, even if I'm playing a beam deck. There's sliding scales where, if I'm playing big white, a 3-1 is a 4-0 because I'm not expecting to win all that often with this deck. So yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So there's a bit of a gummed up board state in this one as well. Like the Mangara is the breaker. Like, again, I don't know if Johnny's aware of what it's going to do here.
Yeah, because this is the first time that it's going to be able to do its thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Which is really important because both this Cub and this Monstrosity, the Monstrosity is technically now indestructible. They both have trample. They're both getting quite large.
There's another threat that needs to be answered.
Yeah. And this is kind of the point we made earlier. Like, Johnny is drawing good cards now.
Yep.
He wanted to curve out with these rather than have these. Yeah, he wanted to curve out with these when I'm on 7 rather than I've stabilized a bit and I'm on 6. If these had happened 3 turns earlier, I'd be in a lot of trouble. I think this is me just trying to scale this Lion Sash in an appropriate way.
Lion Sash is getting big.
Yes, and this Battle of the Cats that you've put up is the imagery.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. one made of metal, one more traditional.
Well, Lewis commented last week on the fact that he loved seeing your pet cat and wanted more cat content. So we've delivered. You're welcome.
Excellent. My cat's currently outside lying in the sun, so she's not going to shouldn't be bothering us.
That's a shame. Better luck next time.
She looks very comfy. Yeah. But yeah, this Sash is just interesting timing restriction with Ursine Monstrosity, because once the ability resolves, it resolves. So I had to just try and pick away as much of the delirium that I could. But this is
2 more permanents from my graveyard.
This is going to be a big combat for me, and I don't think Jonny has anything. I think he's empty-handed, so I can make this line Sash big enough to, win the fight of the cats, and then do the Mangara.
Yeah, I don't think Jonny saw that one. Even the line Sash coming. Never mind the Mangara.
Yeah.
It's not very good otherwise.
It is not very good otherwise. I am correct there. I've definitely backed myself up on that statement.
Definitely.
3-mana legendary 1/1s. Not what we want to be doing in Canlander.
You
in
don't have
2025.
Caracas. That card is not good.
No. But then this is obviously me being in a really good state as well. I've got the Caracas as a permanent answer for Shouldered now. I'm giving up on the Mangara value, but I've now got a Lion Sash and a Triumph of St. Catherine. Then if I'm just taxing this Shouldered over and over again, they will beat constructs.
Yeah, I think this is the point where I'm fairly confident in saying that this game is over. Before there was probably ways to draw, but I think you've got enough hitting hard fast enough now that you're probably fine.
Although apparently he did not want to Caracas as Shouldered. Maybe I valued just getting the Mangara down and trying to exile it.
So I draw for 10. I go down to 14.
Yeah.
I will make a land.
Yep.
I will reconfigure the Lion Sash onto Triumph of St. Catherine.
Yeah.
It's so hard for an aggro deck to beat a 12/12 lifelink.
Yep.
Like, that's just wild.
It's kind of like he has to
So
combo,
I gain
but
12 and you gain 4.
he's empty-handed.
You have 22.
So
Yeah.
I go to 20.
and Nardu can be dealt with.
Yes, you've got Caracas.
So, yeah,
Caracas
it's-
is obviously not the best answer. Mangara is also.
Yeah,
they're both.
Mangara comes down and you've got some time, I guess.
Yeah. But although Jonny does have the Shadow Spear, so he's got not the completely. Yeah, that's me realizing I probably should have Caracas it to start with. Never mind. Jonny at least has a Shadow Spear, so a top deck Nardu does have some stuff it can do. We've got
true.
2 creatures, so that's 4 Nardu triggers. Although I think Shadow Spear 2 mana to equip, it's not the cheapest to equip.
Well,
But there are draws. But again, this is definitely getting away. Shouldered. Yeah, that's
This game.
That's not a
it's,
turn.
it's over. We're allowed to concede now, Jonny.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, you've still got more lands than me.
Jonny Canlander doesn't concede.
Johnny Canlander does not concede.
Oh, he'll kill me for that. No, it's fine.
so far, I've 2 cards that aren't lands.
Do you know what you're bringing next week? I know that this week we had Spider-Man pre-release.
Yes,
Do you
yes,
know
we
what?
did.
Do you know what deck you're playing next week? Have you already chosen?
Well,
without
I have.
you don't have to tell everybody.
I have. It's kind of in honor of the pre-release that just went by. Is what I'm playing.
Okay,
this
I know
week.
what you're playing. Good.
Yeah,
All right, nice.
You may or may not have had 11 new cards put into it after this.
Have you got 11?
11. I counted them
Wow.
yesterday and did it. Yeah. So
Nice.
Legendary Humans going to have a lot of spider people in it for a while.
I will
Should be fun, hopefully.
practicing Mangara.
Yeah, that's me doing that. Just keep doing this Mangara trick.
My son was able to play pre-release for the first time this weekend and played 5-color. Played Cosmic Spider-Man. Is Cosmic Spider-Man in your list?
It's not, no. Although there are, I think,
12, 12 life makers.
like 9 spiders now. So it might not be terrible. The problem is I'm playing a lot of the flip ones and they're not spiders on the front. They're only spiders on the back once they've been bitten or whatever.
I mean, a 5-mana 5/5 first strike flying trample haste lifelink
Can we get a spot?
Pretty good.
Yeah, but this is a deck where the 5-drops are like Joda and stuff like that.
Alright.
There's
That's
a pretty
bit-
high bar
yeah,
for that.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. It has to actually be unfair to play.
Yeah. I am starting. Although there is again a bit committing to the meme, as it were. Like,
Bale Merc.
oh, this is a good one. So maybe a Nardu, maybe a Shadow Spear, maybe we can do some stuff.
Snuff out.
Still a lot to ask for. There's a Nardu. What was I saying? Yeah, I do like committing to the meme a bit much. So that Legendary Humans, I do try and maximize the amount of IPs in it, just for the slight tilt value for everybody who doesn't like universes beyond sets being in Magic.
Yeah,
But
didn't you count it to be like you've got 11 different IPs or something stupid now?
I think so. Yeah, I think I'm down one because I had to cut. I ended up cutting Cisse, which was the Princess Diaries.
Right.
Princess Diaries, not the
The
Whatever
Princess
that film
Bride.
Princess Bride. Yeah, Princess Diaries is a completely different film.
Yeah, that's not one of my favourites. The Princess Bride is one of my favourites. It is one of the films that I've quoted the most, despite the fact that so few English people know the film well. I feel like it's a cult classic in the US, but in the UK people just don't appreciate it.
Yeah, it's not quite as big here. Like,
Not enough love for Andre the Giant over here.
I mean, it doesn't help that film is probably older than most of the people who come and play Magic.
No, let's stop talking about age and let's leave it there.
Well, I went to see Ferris Bueller at the cinema last night. Well, I went with some friends for my birthday.
Nice.
And some of the people who were there were definitely not born
Yeah.
when Ferris Bueller came out, because I was, I think, 1 when Ferris Bueller came out. So, good lord. And now the whole world, internet, well, Canlander watching community knows my age, which is probably great. And now I feel super old.
It doesn't make you any older when other people know how old you are. You
Shut
realise
up.
that?
Yes, it does. Oh dear. This game is over. Like,
This
my life count is
game's
36.
very
Yeah.
over. Like, as you can tell by the fact that we're talking absolute nonsense here.
We're just waiting for me to try and finally kill some things. Like,
I don't know. It's kind of frustrating, though. Like, this game's over, but surely both players know this game's over. Let's go to the next one.
yeah, that is sometimes a tension of like, oh, maybe I could, and that's always a trouble with like a deck that has Nardu and Shuko in it, right? It's never definitely over. I could make infinite 1/1s next turn, and like that will win the game. No, it's not
Yeah.
infinite, but you know what I mean. If you make 61 1s next turn, that will win Jonny the game.
Yeah.
But I do think I have lethal here. This Thalia has secretly been doing work all game.
This has got to be lethal.
Yeah, the fact that everything keeps being tapped has let me chip in for more damage than could potentially have done. Yeah, it's just me just checking my maths. But yeah, I'm pretty certain Jonny is
Cooked.
just dead.
That was.
Yeah, that one took half an hour, or just under half an hour.
I drew nothing.
I know that like your deck doesn't get there quickly, but yeah, there's also an element, and this is I've been learning this in limited as well, that when you fall far enough behind, sometimes you're better off just conceding to make sure that you give yourself enough time to get the 2 wins. So
that's
that you have
definitely
the opportunity to win it.
that would definitely be, and that's probably more of an issue for me than it is for Jonny. So like, if Johnny's going to win a game, he'll probably win it. Not always, but he'll more often than not win it in 10 minutes.
Yep.
Whereas, I mean, this big white deck can do nutty things. Like we've seen from that hand I had in game 1, I could potentially have 6 mana on turn 2, so that can be super fast.
Yep.
But I'm not super likely to. Like, it's not impossible to say. It's much more aggressive than Big Red, but it doesn't have, necessarily have the automatic I win button that is Blood Moon or Wildfire or something.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't have cards on it that says you're going to lose now.
Yes.
In some way.
Because even Armageddon, like, if they're an aggro deck, it leaves their creatures behind, right? That is the bright side of Wildfire, is it just burns everything. So, like, there is that tension between the two types of deck. And I've seen there's been some big Boros lists floated around because you get to play really powerful things like Fourth Earlingus that do help you close out the game more. before the points change. Oh, it's not recent. They're like a year old now. But before the points change that made like White Plume points and stuff, this was splashing red. Its 10th point was 4th Earlingus.
Right.
It was playing balance before that got pointed as well. So it can do some silly stuff there. I think we can see I've kept a 5. It's a 5 card hand, but it's got a mana crypt in it. So that's potentially like something super scary on turn 2.
Just gotta hope that there's not another duress on turn 1.
Yes.
Oh, we are fetching, so something's happening.
Just a bit of time-saving surveilling though. So
Oh, is it a surveil land? Okay.
Yeah, that's what he said. But I don't think I didn't get a great look at my hand. I can't quite remember because anything that didn't happen 2 days ago has escaped my brain. But I don't feel like I've got loads to do. I think I've kept like lands and a mana crypt and something expensive, and just hoping that that's good enough to get me a start in this game. It doesn't look like I'm doing anything on turn 1, so I think there's another shot at it. But you would imagine if he had hand attack, Jonny would kind of fire it off on turn 1.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so unless it's going to be drawn off of this, it's kept on top from the surveil, so potentially. But
I will play a Marsh Flats. Crack that again. I will go and find a Bayou. Actually, let's go underground.
Getting underground sea or a bayou, one of the two. Just trying to
gradually
listen in.
remembering that, yeah, you do need blue.
Yeah.
If you do want to do naughty things, you do need blue. And it is interesting seeing like Johnny's been playing Canlander for a while now, but he definitely only ever played Black Mould as Black Mould, and just playing it as an aggressive deck and keep punching with it basically. And seeing what changes he wants to make with it to try and make it stabilize better. Especially we talked a bit about the meta changing to be a bit more combo and control rather than just non-stop mid-range. Black Mold really good at beating up on mid-range, but making some changes to try and make the deck more like long-term sustainable against some of the combo decks, so it doesn't just kind of fizzle out if it doesn't kill you in 2 turns or 3 turns.
What nods do you need to make to combo for an aggro deck like Golgari? The only thing I can think of is more aggressive hand attack, but I suspect a lot of that's already in here. Oh, speaking of, here's an Inquisition.
Yes, so there's my mana crypt going.
And you've got an Ugin, is that Path, and a Witch Enchanter.
Yeah, so again, it wasn't a good hand, but it's a 5 with a mana crypt, and I think you always have to keep that. If I am somehow able to still get to this Ugin, it's really good. Mm-hmm. But my hand is pretty
a long way away. That is Spirit Dragon, right?
No, that's the new one. The Stormy one, Tarkir Dragonstorm one. Something of Storms. I can't remember exactly what it is.
Devourer. I have no idea. I don't know names of cards. I only know what they do. I think I might have said this before, but I even find myself realizing that I don't appreciate the art on cards enough, because I suppose this is a fault of mine, that I'm more interested in what does the card do, can it help me win the game, and so when you've got like that competitive head on, you like all of the guff just falls to the wayside, and to refer to the artwork as guff is I'm saying it tongue-in-cheek on purpose.
Yeah.
But then you get to the end of a format, and I look at the art on some of the cards, and I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I want to frame like 5 of these.
It is super easy to forget as well, because especially with people who play Magic to play Magic, people come in and go, "Oh, that looks really pretty." I'm like, "Yeah, it does."
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just the basic, but whatever. It looks really pretty. You're not wrong. Like I'm not disagreeing. It's not. You're looking at the words on it more than the pictures on it.
It's often the comment over your shoulder while you're playing, isn't it? From somebody walking past who goes, "Oh, that card looks. Oh, look at that cute cat," for example.
Yeah.
and you're like, "Well, I'm not sure it looks overly cute, but yeah, good point. I've never really looked at it that much in detail."
It's murdering me, so I don't find it cute.
No,
sure.
it ain't cute at all.
But this is much more what Jonny wants to do. He didn't have a super fast start here, like had the hand attack and just like smoothing out the mana, which was solid. But I've got the most anemic hand you can possibly imagine at this stage. And both this Cub and this Sentinel are just going to grow and grow and grow. And I'm in a really bad spot. I need a Wrath of God or a Day of Judgment or something super fast to try and get myself out of this.
You've not played your Enchanter here, right?
No.
Thinking that you just need to get to Ugin, I don't know, keep playing lands for turn to give yourself a chance. I wonder whether actually a chump blocker might just be important.
It might be, but I can't. I'm on 20 still, like, so there's still turns to do that. And that's a terrifying card.
True.
So like there are still turns to do that.
Nice creature.
Yeah. It does feel a bit weird to play Witch Enchanter as. Oh, that's not.
It makes sense. All is forgiven.
Even if I didn't have the Wandering Emperor, it does feel a little rough there to like just slam down what is essentially 4-mana flog a creature for a turn.
4-mana 2/2. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's. There are targets as well. The Shadow Spears and.
Yeah. Nothing says I'm going to lose a game of Canlander like a 4-mana chump blocker.
Yes, exactly. Especially when there is a chance you can snipe an important artifact, or maybe just cheekily blow up an Urza Saga with your 4-mana 2/2.
Yeah, there was a map on board. Just saying.
There was. I'm not in a good spot here now, though. I just need a Wrath, and to hope Jonny doesn't have stuff to follow the Wrath up with. But Jonny not super committing to the board. Like, we've got a Grist to follow up with next turn, which is going to be super helpful.
What are your 1-drop options?
Weathered Wayfarer, Esper Sentinel, Guide of Souls, and Ocelot Pride.
No,
I think I was.
Mothers.
No Mothers. Because theoretically, individual creatures in this deck aren't super important.
Okay. So you've changed to the Wayfarer from the Ocelot. I think at the I kind of raised my eyebrow a little bit at the Ocelot Pride because it didn't look like it was really going to do anything other than jump.
To be honest, I didn't think any of my 1-drops were going to do anything this particular turn. So I got what is standalone, probably the most powerful of them, but we're past that. So my hope is then that this Weathered Wayfarer gets to go and find me a land that does something. Like I have a bunch of man lands in here. There's a Cave of the Frost Dragon. I think there's a Mutavault and a Factory, maybe. My deck list, yeah. I mean, it's Mistress Factory, Mutavault, and Cave of the Frost Dragon are all in here. Could go and get me an Ganjo, which is like not terrible. Although the Sentinel is too big to be Ganjo.
Yeah, these creatures are getting big.
But it is also like this Weather Wayfarer means as long as Jonny keeps hitting lands, I can still have this bit of a pipe dream of getting this Ugin online and starting to exile some stuff. It's just going to take so long, but I am on 18.
What did we just do? We just sacrificed a Goyf to kill the Wandering Emperor. I guess that's just because the Goyf had just come in, had it? Or had it not?
I don't think it had, but it can obviously come back with the escape on the Goyf, so it's not too hard a one to get rid of. It's just 1 mana short of doing it that turn.
I was just wondering whether there was actually an attack there before committing to sacrificing a thing to kill your Planeswalker.
Yeah, quite possibly. The Goyf doesn't look huge. That might just be. It's a 3/4.
It would have been big enough to be a problem, right?
Well, I can eat it with the Ranger Captain, right? If it is a 3/4, if that's 2 lands, an Inquisition and a Shoal of Khazad-dûm, I think in this bin, it's just a 3/4. Yeah, so my 4/4 Ranger Captain could block it. So there's not a great attack there. This is a major error from me, just going to get an Urza Saga when there's a Wasteland on Jonny's board. Just completely brain failed there. So when I am trying to get to the Ugin, and Jonny quite correctly doing that. When I'm trying to get to this Ugin, getting a land he can blow. He can already blow up the Witch Blessed Meadow.
It doesn't make too much of a difference, maybe.
But you'll definitely blow up an Urza Saga, right? Where you might just leave the Witch Blessed Meadow, or even if not, you'll leave it until the last possible minute, until the next turn is my 7th land.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. It's just give your opponent the opportunity to either miss. There's nothing quite like getting a land that says, "Hey, come and kill me," like an Urza Saga does.
Yeah, and I'm pretty dead here. Maybe not literally on board.
Emperor Troll, you're on 13.
So
You're
it's,
not-
it's
you're
chump
not-
and gain some life on the Sentinel, but that's not a way to win this game,
Wait,
really.
you're still dead, are you? Oh no, because the Emperor can't come in.
The Emperor can't attack this turn, yeah. So I'm not literally
You're
dead, but
You're not blocking and you're going to 1.
yeah. I don't quite know what my plan is here either way. Like, I don't think I'm winning if I chump this Sentinel either. And I'm just kind of hoping I can somehow...
Top at board wipe.
Well, I know the Troll's going away, and I'm just hoping I can keep up creatures to block with.
Really well off the top these games.
So yeah, I'm in a pretty rough spot.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of my logic here. Is I'm just
Another hand attack for my mana.
we're pretty slow into this game, right? We've pretty long way into this game. Sorry, so like you said, game 1 took like half an hour. So we
let's get
just like we said, like, my deck doesn't win fast, so I want to give myself as much time to win game 3 as I can.
You made the comment there that when you mulligan down to 5 and you get hand attacked, it's pretty horrible.
Yeah, you're not going to win many games of Magic in that scenario. That's why cards like Solving and Mana Crypt are obviously so many points, is that they can kind of unmulligan you. Like a Mana Crypt is almost like having 2 lands, situationally. Solving kind of similar. But when you keep on the basis of those new hands, it's just bad. It's super bad.
Yeah. Super bad. Right, trying to see what... I think there was an Urza Saga in your hand there.
So it's a Melter 6, but didn't seem terrible. But again, what you always want to do with one of these big decks is, as much as you can, just slam a bunch of mana and do something quickly.
Yeah.
So the opponent can't just go, in this instance, creature attack you, hand attack, disrupt your one big thing. So if this is an Underground Sea into another Thoughtseas, I'm probably going to be sad. That looks like... That is a Saga, but the first play I have is a Recruiter of the Guard.
Okay.
Which is not super fast, and I do want to try and win this game quickly. Yeah, and it looks like I didn't draw anything to kind of push it through.
So this is the quicker clock.
Yes, like just getting some Sagas going. But I do think that might be a Sunfall in my hand. So potentially,
Okay.
what might be the plan here is, depending on how much Jonny commits to the board. But if Jonny does commit to the board, that's a much more reasonable Assassin's Trophy.
Yeah, I approved of that one.
But depending on how much Jonny commits to the board, I might end up using a Recruiter to get something good to do after a Sunfall, and hope I can get a nice big incubate thing off of a Sunfall and try and push damage through there.
Oof.
However, Grist is a
Sunfall.
good one.
Sunfall does look nice into a grist.
Not when the Grist just kills the stuff afterwards, and makes more chump blockers for you. But the fact that like it makes a bunch of 1/1s and you can use them, that's very good, obviously. But what I really want is just to kind of clean up, basically for it to have looked like Jonny didn't play the game by the time this Sunfall resolved, and that's going to be tough to do with a Grist on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Because it'll just keep making more chump blockers. So here I've clearly just moved away from that. Yeah, get the Skyclave to deal with the Grist. I think my plan is to hopefully either be able to chump block with this Skyclave or maybe even chump attack before the Sunfall to try and get the Skyclave dead so that the token dies.
Draw a removal spell or something.
Yeah.
So that's the game plan. I like it. You're more than happy to lose out. You don't really want to chump block. You want to draw Jonny into using resources on it.
Yeah. But the problem is I can't even do that with this Spitting Dilophosaurus, because it will attack and put a -1/-1 counter on this Skyclave, and I won't be able to block. So again, for not having a 1 or a 2 drop creature, Jonny still ended up with a pretty solid, aggressive curve here. Like, he's attacking me with an insect.
What do?
Exiles this.
Yeah, so that's still, I think, the right plan.
So Skyclave is a 1/1. Is that right?
2/2. It's a 2/2. So it won't die to Dilophosaur, but it won't be able to block.
What does the I thought it said something about opponent's creatures come in with a -1/-1 counter on it.
No, when it enters or attacks, they put a -1/-1 counter on them, and then things with -1/-1 counters on them can't block.
Right.
So when it entered, it killed off the Recruiter, and now when it attacks, it will put a -1/-1 on the Skyclave. So I can't chump it to make the illusion happen now. and also means I take some damage, which is not great either.
Where did this card come from?
Jurassic Park.
Oh, it's actually okay.
It's actually a Jurassic Park card, yeah. And
No
there's
wonder
not
I'm
loads
not
of
good at
them.
what it does.
Yeah, there was not loads of them that were playable.
One of the insects.
That set was even less draftable than Spider-Man.
Yeah, and you definitely are the one who's talked about limited this video. You can't claim anything else there. You brought it up like 3 times.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to claim this one. I've gone 2 videos without mentioning limited. I'm good.
We're back on track.
allowed to talk about it now. I've proved to myself I can do it. It's like I'm allowed to have an alcoholic drink tonight because I proved to myself that I can go a day without not having one yesterday. It's that kind of a comment.
Right. Okay. Oh dear. This is an interesting Ultra Evolution from Jonny. Like, what I don't know what 2-drop he wants here that's going to win him. Like just really cement what he's doing here because he's sacked a Grist token to get it.
What are some of the more powerful 2-drop creatures?
He's gone for Emperor, which again is there's not really a good
there's
creature
nothing
in
in
the
the bin.
I've got a Recruiter, which is a nice card advantage engine for him. So yeah, this is me desperately trying. Yes, and he takes the bait. Thank God.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was really important. Like if he'd have been left with a 3/3 there, that's obviously so much worse for me.
Yep.
So that was really fortunate because there's not loads of time left. But if I can support this incubator token with a bit, and Jonny doesn't have too much to follow up with, there's a chance I can win this now. It's gonna be hard for Jonny to win. I'm still on a reasonable life total. I can't remember what is in my hand at all, and I can't see it even a little bit, so I'm not helping us there. But that might have been a Noble Lord of the Mistmoors, which is 4 power.
That does hit quite hard, quite quickly.
Metamorphosis Fanatic. I'm just going to whiff. But
So the exile on the Sunfall being a huge.
Oh yeah. Wow.
So yeah, really, Sunfall is an interesting include, just because it costs 1 more than so many other Wraths.
Yeah,
But the exile does
gives
matter.
you
Like graveyards are played with a lot.
It also gives you a piece of cardboard. Like you've got. Is that a 3/3?
Yes, that is a 3/3.
Like Metamorphosis Fanatic is a big life linker, but your 2/2 can block it.
Yep.
yeah, go to combat.
Double block. They're both 2/1s.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, John said the back.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And you take back.
Didn't realise that those were 2/1 flyers. I would
No,
prefer
not
to
many
attack
insects
these.
are. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
When you're used
it's
to a Grist.
understandable. I think those of us who have played Duskmourn Limited or Standard recently know what Overlord does.
When you're used to Springheart, Nantukos, and Grists, though, you can understand that that insects are 1/1s.
Hey, Stroke of Midnight's made an appearance.
Yeah, it's Assassin's Trophy.
It's unplayable
Yeah.
in Limited.
Oh, it doesn't work for land.
For those of you out there, I know there's a couple of you out there who like playing Limited. Don't play Stroke of Midnight or that type of effect in Limited.
But play it in Canlander, because who cares about a 1/1 when you're attacking with all of this? And this is me desperately, again, we're really running low on time on the round, so I'm just being as aggressive as possible and hoping to get there.
You.
So it looks like without a good top deck, I'm going to get there. Because I have lethal on board now.
I'll take 4 in the air, so I go 6.
Yeah, you're on 6.
Yeah, we'll call that
Game over.
So we did get there.
played.
Mad dash at the end.
Overload the Mistmoors. Very nice. I like it as a nice include for Big White, because you can just, whatever it is, impending it out.
Not the graveyard.
Get some good blockers and get things that close the game, and it gets around some of your Wraths if you need to impend it and then Wrath. It's not great with doing that with insects, but it's a cool addition.
Nice. Well, congrats. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining. We'll catch you all next time.
Always a pleasure.